together. That's what you find out in an exhibition game. And oh, by the way, rebound. What was the biggest weakness for K-State last year? Turnovers and rebounding. Already it's a big emphasis this year, starting with the exhibition game. Be a good rebounding team.
And we are underway in exhibition play, and the tip controlled by Coleman Hawkins. C.J. Jones will start at the point tonight. We'll see plenty of Doug McDaniel. Also, Max Jones not available tonight with a minor foot injury. As they dump it inside to David Gasson, and he is fouled on the first possession. Jerome Tang says he's had a great offseason. Stan, his confidence level at an all-time high as he enters his final year here at K-State.
In the offseason, he had a chance to play internationally, and he really picked up his game playing against pros, applied a lot what he learned at K-State in the last 2 years, went out and upped his game. So now a leader on this team, one of 3 guys that returned from last year's team. Very happy with his improvement, but now he needs to show it in actual games.
Gets the start at the 5 spot here tonight, but we will also see a couple of the transfers. Ugana Onyenso, as well as Byfall, a 7-footer, and a 6'11" player. Here's Caleb Hammocky at the top of the Fort Hays State offense, driving in on Hawkins, can't finish, and tapped out of bounds, and it'll stay down here with the Tigers.
You see the explosive capability by Hammocky to drive the basketball. He can shoot. They have some very good plays they run to get him the ball and get in advantageous situations. That time he could not get it to go.
There's a look at the starting 5 for the Wildcats. Here's Brendan Hawson, the Villanova transfer, off to the Illinois transfer. Hawkins puts it on the deck. He's bumped and fouled. Hawkins, the final piece of Jerome Tang's transfer class. As Stan said, the co-Big 12 newcomer preseason newcomer of the year and a second-team preseason All-Big 12 selection. Hard to get on those teams when there's 16 teams in the league now. Gasson rejected up high by Sean Riley.
What a great block.
Trajan Davis off to Crawford and back into the hands of Hammocky. He will have the ball in his hands throughout this 40 minutes.
And he can shoot off the bounce. He can catch and shoot.
Riley blocked from behind by Hawkins.
And you see a little bit of what you're going to see a lot of with the Wildcats, some big players capable of blocking shots.
Hawkins looking for the whistle, didn't get it, and throws it away, and K-State turns it over. Jerome Tang says, in a nutshell, look for fewer turnovers and better shooting from this team from a year ago. Whose turnovers dogged the Wildcats all season long. They finished 19 and 15 overall, 8 and 10 in the Big 12. Crawford on the wing, guarded by C.J. Jones, trying to use a pick. K-State with the double team, and then Gasson fouls.
Pressure defense on the outside, but Gasson could not get far enough out to get to Trajan Davis and runs into him for the foul.
And here's Doug McDaniel, a junior transfer from Michigan. Averaged 16.3 points, 3.7 rebounds a game for the Wolverines last year.
K-State subs out a 6'9" player and goes in with a 5'11". It shows you how they can play much smaller just as one sub.
Corner 3 is off from Trajan Davis. McDaniel there for the weak side rebound. Electric point guard into the lineup here for the first time in a Wildcat uniform. Jones throws it away.
Good anticipation by Hammocky to get that steal.
Riley with the rebound over the top of Achor Achor, but K-State picks up the loose ball. Still looking for a first made bucket here. Dribble handoff, Brendan Hawson. Yes!
There's your shooter. Big time 3-point shooter. Gets an open look.
Originally a top 40 high school recruit out of Amarillo, Texas. They called him the Amarillo Assassin. 2 years at Villanova and transferring to K-State, where he will see a big role this season.
Taught well by his father, who was his high school coach at Amarillo.
4 to shoot. Riley's got to do something with it. And they just do get it off. It hits the side of the backboard. Great defense that trip by the Wildcats.
Jerome Tang wants to see Brendan Hassan opening. After the handoff, he is able to take the ball, the left-handed dribble, and knock it down. It is not only a catch-and-shoot three-point threat. He can do it off the bounce and gets K-State's first points.
By Fall into the lineup, the 6'11 sophomore transfer from Arkansas.
High school McDonald's All-American player.
Yeah, didn't play much at all at Arkansas last year, but a high school pedigree for sure. McDaniel floater. So good at that usually, but leaves that one short.
McDaniel at only 5'11 feels comfortable getting to the inside, as you see By Fall right here. Here you see the dribble, and if he gets within about 10 feet of the basket, he can go up and get the floater. Did not get it done.
Deep corner three off the inbounds from Brendan Hassan.
He has 6 of the 7. K-State is very good at inbounds plays along the baseline, and it'll be even better when a guy like that able to shoot.
McDowell stripped away. K-State with the steal. David Castillo. Weak side board to Fall. McDaniel NBA 3. And rebounded by McDowell for Fort Hays State. A couple of good looks that trip. And both good shooters.
Yep, and some work on the offensive boards. That's exactly what Jerome Tang and his staff wants to see.
Dan Makuna with the first points of the night. A sophomore from Germany, played last year at the University of Denver. Nails a 3. Hassan looking for his third one. Not this time. By Fall from nowhere. Extra pass. Hassan again. When you make the first two, you kind of feel like they're all going to go in. As Hammocky in transition gets his first 2.
When Hammocky shoots, Fort Hays State fans believes it's going in every time as well. Using his right hand, his offhand, good drive down the middle.
Hawkins.
You can see the Tigers are gritty. That's what they're made of. That's why we're one of the best teams in the MIAA.
By Fall can't get the roll on the little jump shot in the lane.
And Mark Johnson slows it down with his point guard. 24th year coaching Fort Hays State University.
Trying to use the pickup high, and McDaniel a little too aggressive with the foul. Brendan Hassan with a couple early triples, and the Wildcats are up by a deuce.
Big 12 on ESPN. I'm Hannah Whetstone. It seems as though all eyes are on Kansas State's Coleman Hawkins as they begin their season here today. And being named one of the Big 12 newcomers of the year, head coach Jerome Tang says it's important to note that Hawkins takes great joy in his teammates' successes. Now, the Illinois transfer remains focused on winning and bringing positivity to the program. He says, I want to shine a light on the Kansas State basketball program. And Hawkins added that if K-State wins, everybody in Manhattan wins.
Yeah, thanks, Hannah and Stan. Jerome Tang talked to us this afternoon about Coleman Hawkins, and he used the word, he's a connector.
Yes, because he can do so many things on the floor, and he has such an outgoing personality. Never shy. When the Big 12 media days were held in T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, where the Big 12 tournament will be, 16 teams ran through there, and he had one of the biggest smiles of any of the players that went there. Very much in his element, a leader of this basketball team, a veteran, has been to the NCAA tournament, had a lot of success. And we'll see how he plays. He comes from a family of basketball. His dad played college basketball, as did his 3 sisters.
McDaniel the steal ahead to Buddy Rich.
When you can hang that long, it's tempting just to grab the rim. Now they need to sort out which order did things happen. He can't hang on the rim and grab the basketball. He can hang on the rim to avoid being injured if someone underneath him is there. That's the only time you can hang on the rim.
All right, so they're going to call a foul on Fort Hays State on Sam Bakuna.
That's what I was wondering, because everything after that is irrelevant. It's just a foul. No basket.
Sophomore out of East St. Louis, and he was a one-man highlight reel in his limited minutes last year, and it didn't take him long to get to the rack again here in transition.
He started with the exhibition game last year and ended it in the NIT game at Iowa with some spectacular plays, but he needs to do all the little things. Now more of a veteran. Last year he played just under 10 minutes a game, got into 16 different games, had one double-figure scoring game when he went for 13 against Central Arkansas. So he is one of the 3 guys that are back from last year's squad. K-State has put in 9 players already early in this ballgame. And that doesn't include Max Jones, who's unavailable tonight.
Achor floats his way to the rim. Jerome Tang says he's a bucket, and you see why right there.
Yeah, it's a score. He loves scoring. Averaged over 16 points a game last year at Sanford. You can see his explosiveness on that drive.
And he's a 43% three-point shooter, so you'll see him score at all 3 levels. And he has been a huge bright spot in preseason camp for the Wildcats. CJ Jones in transition. McDaniel floater on the baseline is fouled on the shot.
Achor can score, but how well will he rebound? You know, that's where you're going to get those extra minutes and help the team even more. This K-State basketball team would love to push the ball more than we've seen last season, and they've got a number of guys who can do it. 3 different guys could feel very comfortable playing the point guard position: C.J. Jones, Doug McDaniel, and David Castillo.
Talked a lot about the transfer class. Doug McDaniel, the first one of this transfer class to sign over the summer. That kick-started what most think a top 10, top 15 transfer class. Last year at Michigan, again better than 16 points a game, was an 81% free throw shooter.
You just jinxed him.
It didn't take me long, huh? It's only an exhibition. These stats don't count. Hammocky, skip pass. McDaniel right there to take away the drive for Martino.
You look how much energy Hammocky burns. It's unbelievable. Never stops.
Deep 3, front rim, long rebound to Bakuna. He is fouled from behind by Doug McDaniel. I think that's going to be 2 on Doug.
Good offensive rebound by Bakuna from Germany. 6'8", like you said, played at Denver, willing to step out. And he'll pick and pop. Feels comfortable shooting the 3 ball.
Hawson returns. McDaniel takes a seat with 2 fouls. Nice dribble handoff. And Hammocky misses one of his bread and butter plays on the inbounds.
He was open.
Charge called on Achor. Nice work defensively by Javari Martino, sophomore out of Oregon.
Yes, this team is built on defense. Close call there, gets the call, but that's what Mark Johnson wants. They give up 57.9 points a game last year, 56.3 the year before. Best in the nation both years. They were locked down on defense. You're going to like seeing a newcomer learning how to play defense.
Open lane for Sean Riley, who scoops it in. Yeah, the crazy thing last year, this team won 23 games, but they only shot 29% from 3-point range. It was all about the defense. Mark Johnson Doesn't think they'll be quite as good defensively this year, but thinks they'll be better offensively as C.J. Jones gets his first 2 in a Wildcat uniform.
That's why we talked about pace on offense for the Tigers, because they may not be as locked down on defense as they've been the last 2 years. And if that's the case, they need to play a little bit better offense, and they think they have the capability of doing that.
Martino can't get the bounce. Jones leaves it for Hassan. Fired into Buddy Rich with the hammer.
Great pass by C.J. Jones. Gasson on the offside rebound, got the spot that you want, kicked it out. And got it to the man who can dunk quickly, Buddy Rich. He's got that quick leap.
This is Kyle Grill, the brother of Caleb Grill, who's played at Iowa State, UNLV, now at Missouri in his final year from Mays High School. Achor.
Are you sure it's Caleb's last year? He may have another few years left in him.
I don't know how many. That's got to be at least 6, maybe 7. Timeout on the floor. Sean Riley trying to keep the Tigers in it. But Buddy Rich doing what Buddy Rich does. An exhibition play. Brendan Hassan leading the way for the Cats with a couple of 3-pointers. On the floor now, David Castillo returns along with David Gasson, Coleman Hawkins, Achor, and Hassan.
What's interesting about this lineup is that's 4 of the 5 starters with the freshman point guard.
In and out for David Castillo.
Good chance for Castillo to work with this unit. They took Hammocky off the ball on this possession over in the right wing. You know they want to get the ball to him.
Conte blocked.
Hawkins got his hand on the ball on the drive, but ends up going off the Wildcats. See the drive, the reach in, no foul, and there's the block that you're going to see. Help. Not in great defensive position, but so big. Achor.
4.5 to shoot. C.J. Jones back in for the Cats.
He had 59 blocks last year at Samford.
Hammocky had to get it off with a tough runner and put up an air ball. Some pretty good defensive stretches here for K-State in this first 10 minutes.
Yeah, off-balance shot, not what you want, except for he knew the shot clock was running down, so he gave it a good look. K-State is making him work.
Hassan again. Front rim this time. Into the hands of Mohamed Conte. Head to Hammocky.
Sean Riley's done a nice job to start this game with the ball in his hands here. See that pass he made? He's done some nice things. Rebounding the basketball there, gets done. Gives Fort Hays State a chance to score with Kyle Grill.
Foul on Achor is his second. We'll put Grill at the free throw line.
See, they forced him to drive to the baseline. Help defense came, but he was able to get the pass away. It's a situation where you'd like Coleman Hawkins to have his hands available and got to watch where the ball is going to go and get a piece of it.
K-State fans will get their first look at Ugonna Onyenso. They call him Ugo, the transfer from Kentucky.
7-footer from Nigeria.
Started 14 games a year ago for the Kentucky Wildcats, and get this, he blocked a shot every 7 minutes that he played.
He had one game where he had 10 blocks.
Against Ole Miss. It wasn't like a Division II team.
Exactly.
It was Ole Miss.
66 overall blocks. He's going to be a guy who can work down low, play great defense, be a factor on the offensive boards.
Hawkins to Gasson in the corner. K-State hit a couple early threes from Hassan, but have been off target since. Hammocky trying to use the screen. Gets it back into the hands of his brother. This is Lucas Hammocky, leaves it short. Good defense by the Cats. Long pass. Gasson comes out of there with it. CJ steps into a three and back rims it.
Great fun for the brothers to play. Caleb and Lucas Hammocky from Hutchinson, Kansas.
Grill, floater, no on Yenso with the board. Euro step for Gasson, rolls it in.
I'm not sure how he got that one to go because not a high percentage move. 1 into 3 in the lane, but the line drive falls in.
Corner three, good for Kyle Grill. He's got the last 5 for Fort Hays State. Tigers within 3.
He's from Mays, Kansas.
Hawkins is fouled. Mark Johnson told us that Kyle Grill has had a really good preseason, and he's looking for him to really elevate his game this year after averaging 3 points a game as a freshman.
Redshirted 2 years ago, playing just under 12 minutes last year. Now going to be counted on and stepped up. Made a nice outside shot. So Kyle Grill getting off to a good start here in the exhibition.
Talking about the versatility of this man, Coleman Hawkins, the only player in Illinois history with 900 points, 500 rebounds, 200 assists, 100 blocks, and 100 steals. He does it all on the floor. Jerome Tang says he's like a 6'10 quarterback, another point guard on the floor for his team.
Has a number of double-doubles, as you would expect. And he also has 1 triple-double. Against Syracuse, 15 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. So he has played in some big-time basketball games for Illinois. And part of a #1 seed basketball team. Brad Underwood, the coach, the old Wildcat.
Yep, Elite 8 last year for the Illini.
Good hustle to get the rebound by Caleb Hammocky. This guy's got a sweat going, and he does not stop.
Looks for a high pick. Now K-State with the switch. Hawkins with the steal. And the reach-in foul by R.J. Crawford. Timeout on the floor. And loves the talent level. As he said, across the board, this is a very deep team, a very talented team, and now just a matter of kind of putting all the pieces together, and a long season tipping off here tonight with this exhibition game.
And that's the thing that the coaches remind themselves often, because you think about some of the practices and routines and the way K-State basketball is run. He's in his 3rd season, and his staff is almost exactly the same as it's been. They know their routine. They know what they want to do. And then you got to remind yourself, oh, yeah, almost all these guys haven't heard how we do it. That's why it's so important for David Gasson and Taj Manning and Buddy Rich to lead the way when given an opportunity to say, here's how we do things.
11 top 25 wins in his first 2 years for Jerome Tang, and of course the overtimes.
Unbelievable.
12-0 in overtime games is Jerome Tang. Hawkins turns down the deep 3, puts it on the deck, finds Buddy Rich. Buddy muscles his way in. Score it for Buddy Rich.
Good pass that time by Coleman Hawkins, because he was going to kick it out to the top of the key, but he read the defense, was patient, and took the ball inside of the free throw line. And Buddy Rich, if he gets a chance, couple dribbles, he's going to hang at the rim and score.
Yeah, the 6'10 quarterback found his tight end on that one. Hawkins the board. Good outlet, C.J. Jones.
That's what Jerome Tang expects. Speed up the court. Fast break points. Good Euro step through.
Jones, a career-high 25 against Bradley during his time at Illinois Chicago. So He's certainly a guy capable of putting points up. Step back jumper for Martino. Got a couple of bounces and it drops.
Soft shot bouncing around the rim.
Hawkins left alone.
More than half the shots tonight by K-State have come from three-point land.
Had 2 early makes from Brendan Hawson, but dried up since then. And the Cats have had some good looks. Onyenso, the rebound. McDaniel back to Onyenso. On the block for the big fella. The turnaround is short. Hawkins saves it for the Cats. Hawkins on the glass with the sweet move. The Cats push it to 10 as Hawkins doing a little bit of everything at both ends of the floor for the Cats as expected.
After an offensive rebound, he gets the ball in the wing and finishes by crossing right through the lane.
Pressure from the Cats.
And they drop into a man-to-man when they get to half court. Just trying to use some time on the clock, limit the amount that Fort Hays State has to get a shot off.
Little hezzy from Hammock, he won't go. Grill with a nice board. Gets it back again, and the third time's the charm for the Tigers.
Why is a key for K-State rebounding? There is a great example. All that height does not matter if someone else has more grit, hustle, and timing on the rebounds.
Tigers have out-rebounded K-State so far. Here's McDaniel, step back 3, air ball.
The oohs and ahs are coming out of the student section. Has come out well tonight, but they forgot to wait to see if it went in the basket. Rarely do you see Hammocky pick up his dribble in that situation. He got out of it.
Grill Onyenso hammers that down to the floor.
And saves it.
Hawson transition 3, no. Onyenso, Stan, he's got a chance to be the best rim protector in K-State history.
Yeah, he's got the experience, timing, 7 foot, coordinated.
Didn't block that one, but forced the shot to change, and it's out of bounds. And K-State with a little run here leads it 26-18 with the defense from Ugo. Blocks here in the first half for K-State, and here's Hannah with more on the transfer from Kentucky.
Thanks, Ben. That's right. Onyenso is excited to be a part of this K-State squad. He's confident he can make positive contributions to this team, saying, I take pride in my defense, as we saw just now with that huge block. He says, for me, defense wins games. Whatever I can do to help my team, that's what I do. I have their back when their man drives for a layup. Being able to block a shot, I get a different kind of joy when I pin that ball against the backboard or swat one away. I really love it, and I take pride in my defense.
K-State's seeing a lot of good defense here in this first half, holding the Tigers so far to just 25% shooting. Wildcats not really getting on track, though, here on the offensive end. Dumped into by Fall. He has it knocked away. 7 to shoot for C.J. Jones. And he hits! 7 in the first half for C.J. Jones, and the first three-point make in some time after Hawson hit 2 early ones.
Kind of a set shot type of three-point shooter. Gets it to go.
As a team last year, K-State just 32% from three-point range, but they have 5 different transfers on this team that shot in the high 30s from beyond the arc.
Hawson's shot a number of his most recent three-point opportunities. He shot 8 already from NBA range.
Buddy Rich, David Gasson back for the Cats. Biggest lead of the half here for K-State. Gasson commits the foul. 6th-team foul. And number 2 on David. Crawford returns for the Tigers, and Hawkins back in for Kansas State. Fort Hays State, we told you, picked first by the media, second by the coaches in the always tough MIAA, and also today announced the Division II preseason top 25. They came in at number 16.
They were an NCAA tournament team last year, unbelievably lost at the last second shot by 1 in the first round game. And they have a chance to win the conference this year after many years of watching Northwest Missouri State not only win the conference but be national championship level in Division II.
Mark Johnson talked with us yesterday, talking about how the MIAA is kind of the Big 12 of Division II. Just great depth. Great coaches, no nights off in the league. Got a program in Northwest Missouri State that's won national titles. Their coach moving on. And
Ben McCall had moved to Drake and took 3 of his players with him. So it's one of the reasons why Washburn and Fort Hays State look like they're queued up to have a big chance, maybe even Pitt State, to win the MIAA this year. Washburn
playing tonight against KU and Allen Fieldhouse. David Castillo, the talented freshman, back in, replacing Brendan Hawson. Castillo, the point guard on 2 gold medal teams for the USA, U16, U17 levels. Here's Achor. As we've reached the 1:30 mark of the first half, Hawkins, bang! Coleman Hawkins.
It was a nice little 2-man game over there to get Hawkins an opportunity to shoot a 3 in rhythm.
He shot 37% from downtown a year ago for the Illini, and 50% of his shots were from 3-point range. He is first and foremost a stretch 4 type of player, but he'll play a ton of 3 for the Wildcats. And his versatility allows him to play really 3 different spots at both ends of the floor.
And you can see how big K-State will be if he is playing that wing position, that 3 spot as a 6'10" player.
The illegal screen on Achor. Ugo returns with 47.9 left to go. It's a 3rd foul on Achor.
Not a lot of fouls in the first half, but he piled up many of them for K-State. K-State trying to deny Caleb Hammocky, but that is hard to do. This team knows how to get in the basketball, and he has a good handle when he gets it.
Riley, no. Buddy Rich, of course, quickly off the floor. Castillo lost a handle. And tipped home by Martino. K-State will have the last shot.
What great hustle by Martino to be down there to help out and tip that one back in.
Hawkins puts it up and is fouled with 1.3 here to go in the first half. Foul called on Kyle Drill.
And you can see that he's comfortable going across the lane, angling slightly toward the basket, but still far enough away that there's a gap there. This time going to his left. Gets a shot off, but gets fouled.
Hawkins averaged 12 points, 6 boards a year ago for the Illini. Had a career high of 30 against Iowa.
You don't know how to play out this year, but of these transfers that K-State has, many of them have shown throughout their career to be good free throw shooters.
And he's in double figures with 10.
He's a 79%er himself. K-State goes smaller to guard the action here with only 1.3 left.
Hamake lets it fly from three-quarter court. Pretty good defensive half for Kansas State. Offense, obviously, still a work in progress for sure. But
usually he can get his shot off and get his points, but you always want to find out where others are the other scoring options from Fort Hays State. And getting him off the ball is a way to see a different offensive look from the Tigers.
Crawford, whistle away from the ball.
See R.J. Crawford right there is one of the returning players who started some games last year, and I thought he, Sean Riley, and obviously Caleb Hamake had shown a lot of good things here in the first half. A place to lean on, the guys who know how to play the style of basketball that Mark Johnson wants.
Foul was away from the ball on C.J. Jones. Hawkins on Hamake on the switch. Step back three over the 6'10". Hawkins won't drop. Gasson rebound. Break opportunity for the Cats. Hassan transition three. Tip try. No. And out of bounds to Fort Hays State.
K-State is okay with guys shooting a three ball on a fast break. It's very well accepted if it's the right guy shooting it. And then the other guys need to crash the boards. Two Wildcats got their hands on the ball, but neither could get the putback. Fort Hays State running a 5-out look with movement.
Davis, weak side board to David Gasson. Hawkins for three. Front rim into the hands of Jones. Austin sets his feet this time. Yes.
Shooters do not lose their confidence. But he changed it up a little bit. You see how he pump faked, went into a quiet dribble, almost treated it like a free throw.
Illegal screen, and that'll turn it back to the Wildcats. Here's that last three.
Yeah, good kick out, and there's a pump fake. Just took his time, got the proper rotation, and finally sees the ball to go in after making his first two of his first three. He's back shooting it in now.
Scored over 2,200 points in his high school career in Amarillo, Texas.
And you think of the way Villanova plays, he feels very comfortable lining that shot up when he gets a chance.
Yeah, Villanova will shoot 30, 35 threes a game. He was a natural recruit for those Wildcats, but Jerome Tang and these Wildcats happy to have him. Whistle before the three as David Gasson got run over.
Sean Riley battling Gasson right near the paint. Well, they actually called it on Kyle Grill.
See what K-State's got on the inbounds play here. They were so good at these last year. Isolation for Hawkins. Extra pass, and extra pass to Gasson. Spins for the jam.
Gasson was not expecting that pass. I'm not sure how he saw it coming at the last second and grabbed it securely, which led to an easy dunk.
Two extra passes that time, and that's the connectivity Jerome Tang is looking for. Gasson, a near steal, poked out of bounds. K-State will get it.
Watch this catch by David Gasson. He is getting in a rebound position. There's a big emphasis. Oh, he sees out of the corner of his eye. Oh, the ball's there. Makes the catch. It's like you're playing a game, a drill, where you don't turn around until the ball's already in the air. You say, hey, check your reaction, but he was able to grab the basketball.
Hassan again a three. K-State's got the first 8 of the half. Timeout, Fort Hays State. Enjoying the best 3 minutes we've seen so far from Kansas State to begin this half, and K-State sharing the ball during this 8-0 run to begin the second half.
Great ball movement, extra passing, and this Fort Hays State defense is so sound, and they were scrambling. They were not getting closed out to the K-State shooters. Great positioning, and you see C.J. Jones, he leads the Cats with 4 assists, 12 assists on the 14 baskets for the Wildcats, and great defense on one end, good intensity, and then on the other, better offense than we've seen at any time tonight. Run and jump defense right there, see if they can get a trap.
Grill down low, reverses it in. He's having a nice game with 9 in the first 2 of the half for the Tigers.
Good composure by Dan McCuna. He was getting double teamed in the corner, kept his composure and said, hey, someone's got to be open, and Kyle Grill was there.
McDaniel, floater catches the side of the glass. Achor returns at 2 in the first half in his K-State debut.
You look out on the court right now, and all newcomers on the floor for the Wildcats.
Weak side board after the Jones miss.
A little more emphasis on rebounding here in the second half. You can see early.
Austin a guarded 3 this time. Might have tweaked an ankle when he came down on the defender. Kansas in the first round of the NCAA tournament. He went nuts in that game, especially down the stretch. Had 23 against the Jayhawks. 3-pointer drops for R.J. Crawford, his first bucket of the night.
Good pass. College basketball teams all want to do that. When Caleb Hammocky was on the left side, if he could get to the baseline and fly out of bounds, he could get a pass to the opposite corner. The defense is not likely to rotate, and they were able to get the 3 ball.
McDaniel trying to get the Cats organized here. Shot clock into single digits. Chore nowhere to go with it, turns it over. Cats never got into any offense that trip. Crawford.
He is looking for a 3-point shot. You saw him make one on the last possession.
Inside, another bucket for Fort Hays State. Caleb Hammocky gets it.
He has no reservation about going right in with the bigs and finishing.
Hawkins spin move, fade away, glass, no. Everything but the finish there. Riley from the free throw line. Hawkins another board.
Fort Hays State only had 2 points with 5 minutes into the second half, but boy, they've got some good looks here recently.
Buddy Rich in transition. Hawkins finding him. Fourth assist for Coleman Hawkins. He's in double figures with points as well.
Think how much more effective Buddy Rich will be if he can get that 5 to 7 foot shot to go in, because you know he's a threat right at the basket to dunk.
7 off the bench for Buddy Rich. Second chance opportunity there for the Tigers. McCuna gets it.
A little crazy right now, and Fort Hays State taking advantage of it.
Chore with the mid-range game.
And he has an open pocket right at the free throw line. Players a little tired right now.
Hammocky, the blow by. Can't get the finish. And a whistle on K-State.
Sean Riley had great position, got inside of Buddy Rich.
First foul on Buddy as Ugo and CJ return for K-State.
Only 2 team fouls in the second half for K-State, 3 for Fort Hays State.
Mark Johnson thought he was shooting.
Because of the tip, he thought he tipped it in.
Beyond the arc and a 3 for Hamake.
That's great ball movement. And 3 different guys touched the ball before the guy they wanted to got the ball on the other side of the court. Hamake was here in Bramlage in 2020 and lit it up as a freshman.
Gasson rebounds the McDaniel miss, and he'll head to the free throw line to shoot 2. Yeah. Fort Hays State, they have never beaten K-State in an exhibition game, but they did win here 4 years ago in a regular season game that was just kind of added during the COVID season.
Scheduling was a little bit of a challenge then, and he steps in, had 15 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals as part of a team that was on fire. 55% field goal percentage that day.
Hannah with some thoughts on our senior here, David Gasson.
Thanks, Ben. Beginning his 3rd season with the Wildcats, David Gasson has remained a steady force for this team while seeing the highs and the lows. And after graduating in May, Gasson had the opportunity to explore other options, but he chose to remain at Kansas State. He says that the decision was made because of Jerome Tang and his coaching staff. The Dutch national says, I don't feel that there'd be a better place out there for me. I feel like the coaches have my back. I've seen that in the past 2 years. They go all out. They make it easy for you to do it for them on the floor.
He's the one player that has been here all 3 years of this coaching staff's tenure.
Hamake got to let it go. Rebounded inside by Davis. Look at the effort by McDowell, but Onyenso comes out of there with it. Break opportunity for the K-State. But good transition D by Fort Hays State, and now that went off the underside of the backboard, and a turnover on C.J. Jones and the Cats. Wildcats up 49-34 midway through the second. Back to Manhattan. This is why you have ESPN Plus if you're a K-State fan. Men's hoops tonight, women's hoops tomorrow, volleyball Thursday, Chris Kleiman show Friday, and then more women's basketball next Monday. And then Stan and I will be back here next Tuesday as
officially start the regular season.
Opening night, Jerome Tang and the Wildcats will take on New Orleans. Jeff Mittie and the women's team picked to win the Big 12 this year. That roster is loaded, and they will get started tomorrow night.
You keep thinking after many years and basically a decade of only 10 teams in the Big 12, that's pretty good to be number 1 of 10. But we have 16 teams now, so number 1 of 16, even more impressive.
Good ball movement. Doesn't pay it off for Trajan Davis.
They do not get rewarded, but that is exactly what they want to see.
Oh, Castillo thought Gasson was cutting, and he stopped. And the lay-in in transition for Mohamed Conte.
Good job by Conte, and there's the continuity we talked about with K-State. Can they find how to play with each other, different combinations? Are you on the same page?
Cats have lost a little rhythm here after pushing it to a 20-point lead. The lob, but a whistle before. Wow, McDaniel put that right on the money, but foul called on Brendan Hossens.
That's a highlight reel type of shot that he got, but it was a non-event. The foul had already been called for an illegal screen. Brendan Hossen gets the foul, and Fort Hays State gets the basketball.
Save that one for the regular season. Hamake leaves it for his brother Lucas.
Those two guys have probably done that a few times. Help defense not there for K-State.
Austin, top of the key, 3. He's got 5 triples.
Good to see him back on the court. You mentioned that we thought he was okay, and that kind of proved it. K-State extending their defense out with 5-out look.
Back-to-back buckets for Lucas Hammocky. He floats one in off the glass.
Injured last year, he only played 8 games. Played more than that the year before, but he's also a lefty. 2 lefties in the family.
Hawkins with a nice bounce pass to Gasson. Out of bounds to K-State with 9:10 to go. C.J. Jones back in for David Castillo.
Now you have 4 of the 5 starters in and Doug McDaniel's in there. Remember, we had that situation with David Castillo being a point guard with the 4 other starters.
Post up for Gasson, and a foul before the shot. He got Caleb Hammocky switched onto him.
K-State did a good job of getting the ball inside, but Hammocky made a veteran move. Just said, I'm going to foul him. Not an intentional foul, but a foul before the shot.
And only the 15th foul, so it didn't put him on the free throw line. K-State back to throw it in. McDaniel looking, and a 5-second violation.
Work in progress. But one thing that is not a work in progress is Fort Hays State's defense. It's something they've relied on for a number of years to be as successful as they are, and you're seeing good defense tonight from them.
Reach-in foul on Hassan. Number 2 on Brendan.
The Tigers are playing 5 out and trying to find an angle, and K-State seems to be baiting them into baseline, but there's no help defense to get there quick enough, so they're able to get something off or make that extra pass.
All alone, Riley.
No help defense on the backside.
10-point ball game. And Jerome Tang wants to talk about it.
K-State led by 20 at one point.
Tigers have cut it in half with 8:24 to go.
But they also want to beat each other every day. He says that they love to match up against each other and really push each other to be their best.
Thanks, Hannah. Caleb Hammocky, so fun to watch, and getting his brother involved here in the second half. They've led this little surge by the Tigers, who have trimmed a 20-point deficit to 10 here with 8:24 left to go. We'll put it this way, through the first 23 minutes, Fort Hays State scored just 22 points, but now they've got 20 in the last 9 minutes. I think K-State's relaxed a little bit on defense, and it's kind of come back to bite them here.
We spoke about the Tigers only getting 2 points in the first 4 or 5 minutes, and K-State having a 20-point lead. And that probably coincides with what you're saying, a little bit of a letdown, because Fort Hays State has not let down and has started working their way back, cut that deficit in half.
But what you would expect from this Fort Hays State program, it's accustomed to winning, and number 16 in the Division II preseason poll.
And you saw the players smiling out there. This is a great opportunity for them to play in Bramlage Coliseum.
Isolation for Hawkins, misses the turnaround.
Love the fight of this program.
Air ball, McDaniel. Outlet pass to Hawkins. Leaves it for Gasson, and he's fouled going to the hole. Hawkins trying to complete the Euro step there, but the defender was kind of in the way. He didn't have anywhere to go with it. Leaves it for Gasson, who's fouled.
Gasson back to the free throw line. That fast break was an example of learning how to work with each other and take advantage of the situation. Coleman Hawkins in double digits, one of the Wildcats, second leading scorer with 10 points, but he had 10 points at the half. K-State has gotten to the free throw line a lot more. And they had assists.
Yeah, David Gasson gets them both.
That's good news for K-State.
4 of 6 from the line, and David has 8 in the ball game. A Chore back in.
But on that fast break, you got to know your positioning of players. How do you go with the ball and the person without the ball? How do you attack so you end up getting a layup? And obviously they weren't on the same page that time, but the height advantage was there, and Gasson was able to grab the ball and get fouled. Good hands by Hawkins.
A Chore. Tip try from Buddy, no. Martino has it stolen. Hawkins ahead to Buddy for the layup. Buddy Rich doesn't get many layups. They're usually dunks, but
on Saturday night, and now basketball, women's basketball, volleyball, back to basketball.
you know, one thing we haven't seen tonight from K-State that Jerome Tang has alluded to a little bit is that this team may play some zone this year with their size and length. Baylor used to use that so effectively.
Yeah, the length allows you to play good zone defense if your players will move their feet. And you see how they play man-to-man, how often you'll see a big guy like a Chore guarding Hammocky.
So Harry's got Conte, and Conte puts him in the spin cycle and scores it.
Great patience right there, making it look like he's going to pass the ball out, and then says, oh, you just left me an easy opportunity to score at the basket. He transferred in from Hill College last year.
Great pass, a Chore to the rim, and a blocking foul.
Mohamed Conte drives in, under control, loves the pump fake, does a step through, and spins it up off the basket. And Fort Hays State has found here in the second half that there usually isn't the help defense. Earlier in the game, that K-State defender was there to block the shot. A lot of blocks in the first half, but you really haven't seen that in the second half, as they've lifted all of their players out to the outside. That does not mean the K-State defender should just chase him out there. It's just something, a learning curve item. How far away do you get to make sure your guy doesn't get an open three-point look? You can close out on him, but also able to help in the paint.
The Chore gets 1 of 2. K-State is a team 14 of 20 from the free throw line tonight. Alley-oop is way too high and too quick. And the Tigers turn it over.
Good decision, but the execution is about 13 feet up in the air. He'd have to go get that ball.
Hawkins from the top. He hits 13 for Coleman Hawkins, and the lead's back to 16.
That's what makes him so hard to guard, because it looked like he had an advantage being a big guy posting up in the paint, and suddenly he flipped it around and was making a three-point shot, and the defender was worried about having him in the paint and wasn't even close.
Left-handed drive and finish from Lucas Hammocky. McDaniel races up the floor, beats his man to the rim, and is fouled.
That shows you the speed that you'll get with Doug McDaniel from Washington, D.C. He really wants to play fast, push the ball up the court.
Hasn't got on track offensively here tonight. 0 of 6 from the floor and has 1 point from the free throw line. But showing off his quickness there, and that's his game. Well, he had some explosive games last year in Michigan. 26 against St. John's, 33 against Oregon, 33 against Florida, 14 against the Big Ten champs, or the Big Ten tournament champs, I guess. Illinois had 19 against Purdue, 16 against Wisconsin.
So as soon as you say against Illinois, you think about Coleman Hawkins out there against him. And what's impressive about those 2 30-point games that you mentioned about, and one of them against Oregon, he had 7 3-point makes in only 12 attempts. And the other game against Florida, he had 8 assists with his 33 points. So showing a little bit of everything along with that high level of scoring. There's a better defensive set. See how he baited him into the drive, and the help defense was there.
McDowell, the bank is open. Aiden McDowell, a freshman out of Crete, Nebraska.
One of the most interesting things about him, and you know Nebraska well, he's a good basketball player, but he is a 2-time state champion in singles tennis.
Buddy Rich is in double figures as he hangs and kisses it home.
He liked that a lot better than at other layup where he just had to flip it up.
Yeah, that was
being on the ground.
Buddy earning some minutes here tonight with this play off the bench for sure. McDowell's going to try another one. No backboard this time. McDaniel likes that little runner off the glass. Couldn't get it to drop, but David Gasson is there.
David Gasson, a leader, understands the coaching, and he has been, as much as any other Wildcat, right there at the rim for all these misses the whole second half.
Good second half for David Gasson, who's in double figures now with 10. McDowell to the left hand, can't get the roll. Another board for Gasson. Into the hands of McDaniel. Buddy steps into a 3. And a push off on David Gasson. Buddy was feeling it there. He's in double figures.
He hasn't made a three-pointer for K-State yet.
Why not pull the trigger?
Last year, they go on and win the conference. Now you add Arizona. If this trend continues, it might be the Boston Celtics next year into the Big 12, because they already were the best conference before those teams were added.
Well, there's been a lot of talk and rumors over the last few months about UConn or Gonzaga joining the league. Aiden McDowell with a second 3 here down the stretch.
Boy, UConn's put some good basketball together recently. One of the Hurley brothers coaching there. The other one with Arizona State, who's now a part of the Big 12 Conference. They're playing an exhibition game at Duke, where he starred.
Stolen by McDowell. Mark Johnson get 3 subs in here with 2:34 left to go. Tigers trail it by 14.
What kind of reception will Bobby Hurley get when he's back at Duke, taking his Arizona State team on the road? They asked him about all the travel in the new Big 12 Conference. He goes, well, that's why we're heading to Duke. We're going to get used to it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing Fort Hays State play this year. They've really earned their opportunity to step it on up and maybe win a conference, but it won't be easy. You think about the rivalry games with the other schools in the state of Kansas.
Good feed inside, and Eli Lawson has a bucket. He's a freshman from Bennington, Kansas.
A 2A school. The thing I like about it is they are not backing down, and their ability to drive to the basket and not be distracted by the big guys there is impressive.
Nice finish by C.J. Jones to take some contact and score.
Ooh, there's a defense you were going to see from Doug McDaniel. Pesky. Running some offense here without Caleb Hammocky in the lineup.
Five to shoot for Martino. Gets it to McDowell, blocked by David Gasson. See if they'll put a little bit of time back on the shot clock. They might here.
It should be 1 second, but that's a great block on the help side defense. But do you see how McDowell, as a freshman, doesn't back down? I mean, so often when you see big defenders come, people miss it for him. Just throw something up that has no chance. He would have made that shot if the block wouldn't have come.
Yeah, now the game clock is off. There was over a minute remaining.
Yeah, 19.5 does not represent the minute 20 that we should have.
Lawson. Hawkins the rebound. McDaniel blows by McDowell and lays it in.
He uses that one-handed shot to get it off real quickly. Part of being 5'11". Expecting him to grab it with two hands, and he already has it off the backboard.
Here's McDaniel with the quickness.
There he goes, and no left hand. One week till the regular season starts.
Chor catches in traffic and has it stripped by Martino. Martino over Hawkins. A beautiful layup with the left hand.
Wow.
And Jerome Tang says pull it out here. And that will do it. K-State had stretches of good play, but I think we'll hear from Jerome Tang that his team will have plenty to work on here.
Love the tradition of KU and K-State playing the MIAA schools in the state in an exhibition game, and impressed with Fort Hays State fight. The Wildcats, a lot of things to work on, but still a 14-point win.
Pretty balanced effort all around by K-State.